have a 9 to 5 40-hour week, that would have been an hourly rate of $35.83. So that's the How's it going? It's Rocky. So the channel reached a milestone this week, which I am quite happy with, and that is having a subscriber of above 500. So we are now at 509, and if you check the link above, 2 weeks ago during week 46, I had mentioned that, my goal was to hit at least 500 by the end of the year. At that time, we had 463 subscribers, so I'm quite happy for the new subscribers that we have, and of course, all of you who have been following my journey throughout the year. So what I'm showing here is the monetization page on YouTube. So essentially, for you to be monetized on YouTube, you need at least 1,000 subscribers and also a watch hours of at least 4,000 in the past 12 months. So it's a running 12 months where you need to hit that. So I say we're getting close to that. That is one of my goals really for this channel, is to get to a point where we're monetized, and I really need your help with that. So please do watch some of the content if you enjoy them, and definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. So welcome to week 48, where every Friday I release content on my experience trading the micro E-mini futures. So we have 4 weeks left, roughly on the calendar year, and I'm hoping to really, hit my stride and hopefully end on a high note. So what I'm showing here is the hourly chart for the week. And what an hourly chart means is where every candle represents a 1 hour candle. So basically, I had the week starts on a Sunday, which is this vertical line right here. But I wanted to show what happened last Black Friday right here, where it was about a 1,100 point dip, just to show you essentially, something I used as a reference, because I was very cautious because of that. So, for this week, a lot of things happened. We basically had, again, the sell-off due to the Omicron news, which you could see from there. And then around Tuesday, we had basically Jerome Powell speaking in Congress. So that caused a bit of a stir up there as well. And then, towards the end of the week, we had the jobs number come out. So again, that caused a lot of things in the market. So it was definitely hard to trade this week, but happy to say that we did okay. So on this first trade here, we were long with 4 contracts, and I'm actually gonna turn on the vertical lines that I have there, so it's easier to understand or see the trades. So on this first trade, we made a total of $400.64. That's after commissions and fees. And then on this second trade here, we had 5 contracts. You can see I started with 4 here and then another one here. So with this trade where we were again long, we had a net profit of $518.89. And then our last trade today, which not something I was very proud of, but we basically, the power of trading small, I was able to rescue myself. We ended up trading 10 contracts on this, so equivalent to 1 E-mini. And our net for this one was $513.60. Here is our first trade analysis with 4 contracts, and this occurred on Sunday night at around 10:25 p.m. Pacific time. So again, I do most of my trades during the Globex market because I am tied up during the day. And I just wanted to pretty much explain why I entered this trade. So with what I look at, again on the left is a 5-minute time-based chart. So each candlestick represents 5 minutes. And on the right is a tick-based chart. So every candle on the right that you see here represents 512 ticks or 512 trades. I like this first trade. I want to say it's more of a textbook trade in a way. So what's great about it is I waited for that crossover to occur, which is, if you look down here, it's about 9:45. And really I had the sign to enter that because on the stochastic RSI, on the overbought side, we were already there, which is when I usually like to go long. However, the reason that I waited until around 10:20 is if we look to the right here on the tick-based side, basically I waited for a more pronounced divergence on the MACD, which I was starting to see here. And the reason I waited for that is because we're below the zero line. So it's a bit more risky to be going long when you're below the zero line. And also I waited for the overbought side on the stochastic RSI for the tick base side. So when both of those were in agreement, that's the reason that I did go long 4 contracts at 35,027. And I will draw that horizontal line just to make it easier to understand where that is. Okay, so there's the white horizontal line to show you where my average was for those 4 contracts. And basically you can see here, it was a good entry. I could have exited right away, but of course, I am trading at night, sure, but I also like to sleep at night. I don't recommend this unless you're comfortable with doing this, but because I now look at the hourly chart, I'm basically quite comfortable with leaving it alone and placing an OCO. And just to bring back the hourly chart here, what I was really seeing on this, what I was seeing on the hourly chart is the divergence here on the MACD, and we were on the overbought side. And that's really one of the reasons that I was okay just leaving it alone. So as you can see, we actually, we're underwater at around past midnight, but I was asleep, so that didn't really bother me, and thankfully it didn't hit my OCO. So with my OCO, what that means is on one side I have a limit buy, and on the bottom I have a trailing stop. And then I have certain alerts that I have, so above 50 points, 100 points, or 150 points. That all depends really on your style. And that's the reason why I was able to really exit the next morning at 35,236. And that was a net profit of this trade here of $400.64. It's always nice to have a good entry from the night before, and then you wake up and because of your alerts, and basically exit. What's nice about this is I wasn't greedy, so this was right at 6 a.m. and of course it doesn't matter what happens after that, but really if I was being greedy, then I would have lost all of that profit that I had. So this was, I want to say, a nice textbook trade that I did overnight. Now this is my second trade analysis, and I can't say I followed my rules on this one. The main reason that I really entered this trade was because of this move that happened right at 9 p.m. Pacific time right here. So on the time base side, you can see that huge drop, and on the tick base you can see a more pronounced drop that occurred really starting at about 6:30 p.m. But it wasn't until 9 p.m. that I really started paying attention to it. So I just wanted to run by what happened with this trade. Again, it doesn't follow the rules that I normally look at, but it's worth just talking about it and give you the play-by-play of what I was thinking. So when I saw this drop, it was again pretty pronounced, from about 35,143 to about 34,461. That's at least 500 points drop. And I have a link above. I did a little short on this specific trade. And basically, when I started seeing some signs of it being bullish, which on the time-based side, and if we look at it, sure, I was seeing some divergence, but it was already starting to converge on the MACD, so that's really not a good sign. And then on the stochastic RSI, again, not a good sign because we're actually heading down on the stochastic RSI. And if we look on the tick-based side, again, I'm going to zoom in a little bit on that. There was no sign for me to be really bullish on this. So I would say it was a bit of a silly entry. And because of that silly entry, that's the reason that, we were underwater for a bit on this trade. So 4 contracts at 34,702.25, another one at 34,655. So that gives us an average of 34,692.80. And you can see here I was underwater for most of it. So that's why I want to say, not a good entry on my part because I was just really reacting to this huge drop. But I just wanted to show you how essentially we were able to recover from this. So with the 5 contracts, the next morning I was able to exit at 34,909, and with this trade we were able to get a net profit of $518.89. Not a pretty one, but the end result was quite good. So our last trade analysis here occurred today, Friday, and it's actually happened during the daytime. So I tried to do this trade during my break, and again, this shows that I'm actually not very good at trading during the day when I'm busy, because during the day things move a lot faster, so it really requires a lot of your time to be paying attention to what's going on. But with this trade, essentially, we started here with 4 contracts at 34,473. And the reason we did that was because of the crossover on the MACD here. And then we were on the overbought side on the stochastic RSI. And on the corresponding side, on the tick-based side, it's also the same. It was already starting to diverge, and I like that the MACD was above the 0 line. And the stochastic RSI, we're on the green side. So we are on the overbought side on this one. But again, the downside of trading when you are multitasking is, I missed out on this, because basically from 473 it got up to about 582. So it's a good 100 points where I could have exited, but I was busy and I wasn't paying attention. And because of that, I got in trouble and we started basically going down. And this is where I guess I say why I like trading small right now, because I was able to add more contracts to average down. So from 4, I added 2 more for a total of 6, and then another 2, and then we got to a total of 10. So you might say, hey, 10 micros is already equal to E-mini, 1 E-mini, so why not just go back to trading 1 E-mini? Well, the main reason for that is, like in the past, I traded the E-mini and I just didn't have enough cash. So if I made a mistake, I wasn't able to basically recover and average down if needed. And then you could always say I could change my strategy and just exit faster and cut my losses. But over the years, I've learned to really be true to myself and understand where my weaknesses are. And basically, I found what works for me is really the ability to average down. And that's what's been working for me with the micro. And that's why for the past 3 months, we've been pretty successful on our trading, and really hoping to grow this to a point where with the E-mini, I could trade 1 up to 3 E-minis where it won't actually affect me if I made a mistake, because I have the cash balance for it. But that's my ultimate goal, and we're still quite a long ways from that. But anyway, what's great about this trade is that we were able to average down to about 34,408. So from 473 down to 408, and you can see here pretty much at 1250, so the last 10 minutes of the market being open today, Friday, it shot up quite a bit, and we were able to exit at 34,519 for the net profit of $513.60. You could say I could have waited 10 more minutes and it would have got me another $500, but hey, sometimes it's best to just get your profit, be happy with it, and don't worry about what happens afterwards. Now, our account statement for the week, where I show this basically to show you that the strategy is working, and really it's a diary for myself to basically look at my progress, and I measure my success based on my cash balance. So the calendar that we have here is just from Sunday, November 28th to today, Friday, December 3rd. And if we look here, we had no mark to market, so that's always a good thing when I'm trading. No deposits or withdrawal, but we do have this basically interest adjustment of 9 cents, just because I have cash that's sitting there not being traded. So it's like a bank, I guess. It's a very low interest rate that you get, so really it's better to trade that cash balance that you do have. But for the week here, we ended at 15,484.56 cents, and our starting cash was $14,051.43. So that netted us a week of $1,433.13. So quite happy that 2 weeks in a row that we are in 4 figures, so above $1,000. So just to calculate, if we were to have a 9 to 5 40-hour week, that would have been an hourly rate of $35.83. So that's a respectable hourly rate, if I say so myself. And basically our interest or our percentage for this with our week of $1,433.13, and if you divided that by our starting cash of $14,051.43, that will give us an interest of 10.2%. So that was really my goal of to hit 10%, and it's a lofty goal, but I'm glad I hit that. So now I'm starting to really see that compounding effect on our account. So hopefully you enjoyed the content this week. Please do like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw, but if not, give me another chance, and hopefully on the next content you will like what you see. All right, I see ya.